full disclosure, before we get into the story, you guys, I have a big bag of Gala. I've been invested for quite some time, and this makes me happy because I love airdrops. And again, this nothing that I say is financial advice any way, shape, or form. I'm just an investor, have a moon back. Anyways, Gala to airdrop version 2 tokens in May. So basically, they're going to be dropping a new token to users on May 15th. Version 2 will be dropped on a one-to-one basis to holders of the current Gala tokens. V1 tokens won't hold any value following the airdrop. Bummer, but who knows, somebody might do something fun with it. Version 2 tokens are part of a broader upgrade to the Gala smart contracts on Ethereum, and it's going to introduce burn mechanism, which will make tokens more valuable in the future. In quotes, okay? Upgrade will also bring improvement to security enhancements and feature upgradability, not scalability, but upgradability. And then Gala advised users to remove their Gala tokens from any liquidity pools or smart contracts before the snapshot on May 15th. So it's an airdrop, but it's not really an airdrop, but it is. Zach, you want to comment on this?
Yeah, I'll comment on it. I mean, I'll leave the airdrop phenomena aside for the time being. We'll talk instead about Web3 gaming. Obviously, there's a ton of interest around Web3 gaming. I think there's been some early indicators that there's some legs to it, right? Axie Infinity famously sort of became the first widely adopted Web3 game. It obviously had problems thereafter, both with the tokenomics and, oh, by the way, that massive hack by North Korean hackers of the Ronin network on which the game operated, right? So Web3 gaming, I think, has sort of been in that conversation as maybe that next big thing that will fuel adoption, similarly to how NFTs brought a lot of people into the fold. But I think the jury's still out as to whether or not gamers really want the functionality that Web3 gaming can offer them, right? You hear people in crypto say, true ownership of digital assets. People in the games world don't seem to fully care about that just yet. And I think it's, it's still has to be proven by firms such as Gala and others as to whether or not they can move the needle on Web3 gaming and get that message out there about true digital ownership out to the gaming world. Because for so far, there's just been headwinds against it. And I think whether or not this will move the needle is obviously to be determined, but people are trying to crack that nut. They see this as a big opportunity, Web3 gaming, and whether or not these guys can seize the day, again, to be determined, but we're going to see a bunch of experiments around this in the coming 12 to 18 months, I think at least. I don't know, Will, what's your take on the Gala airdrop?
Yeah, I got two takes. One maybe a little bullish and one a little curmudgeon-y. So I'll start with the bullish just to make Wendy happy. I do think we're looking forward to the next cycle, whatever that comes. Could be a year from now, could be 2 years from now, who knows? But what we do know is that there are some narratives already forming, and I think L2s, layer 2s on top of these different networks, especially Ethereum, is one narrative, and then the second would probably be DeFi gaming, the implementation of tokens right into any sort of game you want to play. This is definitely a thing in normal gaming, right? This is very old. Typically, you have to use a credit card or something like that, and you're able to buy in-game money and then directly purchase things in the game. Huge gaming community that has interest in there. But the issue has been to date that a lot of these tokens have not been sticky when they have put them into games, and the gaming community has had a pretty love-hate relationship with crypto, where a lot of times they invest in crypto, but they don't like the side effects of crypto, namely the purchasing of GPUs and the fact that it's hard to get a GPU when any of these other tokens pump. That being said, I think when we go forward to the next cycle, L2s, gaming, those things are probably going to be very big, just like the last cycle. We saw Bitcoin and layer 1 sort of being the narrative. Now for the curmudgeon take, just to throw it over to Wendy, I do have some issues with this story, and that is the market cap metric here. They say it's around $360 million market cap. And basically what they're taking there is the amount of tokens in distribution, which is about 7.5 billion, and the price of the token, which is down in the pennies, and multiplying the two and coming up with a market cap. And the reason they do that is basically so you have some sort of intuitive sense of how big this market is. But it doesn't really work for these smaller tokens because there's no liquidity. And so if you do start seeing large sells of tokens into the marketplace, you're going to see the price drop really quickly. So I think that this could be a pretty misleading metric and gives you a tough look into what DeFi gaming is in the current moment. I think that it's going to be a bullish segment for crypto, but I think at the moment it's still pretty backwatery and there's not a lot going on. Throw it over to you, Wendy.
Yeah, I do know that they did hire because they have a really, really big ecosystem in the gaming sector, and they also have Gala Music and Gala Film. I do run some Gala nodes. I don't think I have any Gala Film nodes, but anyways, one of the things that they did do is they did hire economists to kind of reevaluate the tokenomics for a lot of their different games and a lot of things that they were doing just to make sure that the model was sustainable for the future. And I think that's a big problem that a lot of the Web3 gaming stuff is having, is that they came out with these really great ideas, but they didn't think that far ahead. But that's okay, and I hope that this airdrop does start to rectify itself. They did talk about some type of burning mechanism, so I don't know exactly how that's going to work. But again, you guys, all this stuff is still in beta. So if you're investing in this stuff, if you're buying it, if you're interested in it, make sure to have like an entry and exit or a trading or investing plan with it. Don't buy into this stuff thinking that it's always going to moon all the time and it's going to create generational wealth. It could, but at the same time, everything in crypto today in 2023 is still technically in beta, including Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Where?
I mean, everyone's in beta, right? We're just working towards some better state of our future self. If you
Taco
really think
Tuesday.
about it, it's Taco Tuesday.
Zach 2.0.
Zach 2.0. I'm still in beta. I'm old as hell. I'm still in beta. Don't worry about it, guys.